Hi, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. Today's tip is to get involved in your community. So, I have been getting more and more involved. It started small. Um, I've been in this community. I moved fall of 2019, so it's been kind of weird, but I feel like maybe I should have gotten more involved. I did vote for board members, but my HOA fees have increased over 25% since I moved in. And that's a lot. They were $1,600 a year the first 2 years, 2019 and then 2020, they stayed the same. And then since then, they've moved up, and now they're over $2,000 a year. So it's quite a bit. And we have less activities than we did when I moved in. The activities have changed. Really, it's all about the fishing club and what the fishing club wants. They have, they used to have like the family day was really fun, and now it's kind of lame. They used to have stuff for the kids, and they just really don't. So, unless your kids fish. So, that kind of disappoints me. I mean, it does also cover like water and trash, so I guess that's good. But maybe I should have gotten more involved in my neighborhood community earlier, because though I voted, I always voted for the losing candidate, and unfortunately the losing candidate was also the one who wanted to keep our HOA dues low. And so that's that. I also know that it's important to be involved in the larger community. So about a year and a half, 2 years ago, my town had a planning group come in, and they do city planning, and they collect all this data, and they look at what's available, and then they have the community come in, and they show different things about the community. This many people, based on census data and such, this many people are like, this is the gender split, this is the racial split, this is the age split, this is the education split, and so on and so forth. Scary thing about my community, there were more people who had less than an 8th grade education in my community than had a master's degree. And not to be an education snob, but dude, come on, graduate high school. There's some useful stuff there. It's free. We need to move past 6th grade education. Anyways, and it's not like it's a lot of older people where it was like common to drop out. If it was, it would be. I'm off on a tangent again. This is like my second or third attempt. I keep on getting off on a tangent, but they asked us what kind of housing we wanted. I mean, personally, what I want to see is more mixed use properties. So business on the bottom, apartment on the top, kind of a thing. So we're making the best use of our land. I think we need more multifamily properties. Everybody else wanted to see 17 different fast food restaurants come into our small town, a super Walmart, a super Target, a, Menards, like all these huge stores that require minimum wage jobs. They wanted a lot of minimum wage workers, but they didn't want to provide any housing options for these minimum wage workers. They wanted to keep these like big single family homes kind of a thing. They wanted, to make all new building had to be 2,500 square feet plus, and no townhomes, no anything, all single family. And just people commute 30 minutes to work. No, nobody commutes a half hour to an itty bitty town to work a minimum wage job. That is not how it works. But they collected all this data, and it was tough, but they found ways to then work around the community. So instead of looking at a bunch of minimum wage options and bringing in all the fast food, they are looking at things that are higher wage jobs that will bring in tax revenue. And once that gets going, then they can offer opportunities to businesses that are going to be more likely to have more minimum wage workers, like restaurants and fast food and such, because there will be more housing opportunities and such. So they're kind of trying to build more logically. It was really fun. I went there, took my kid. My kid was the youngest participant. And they were not a child, they were a teenager. So it was fun. And then I learned a lot about my community. And so then I went to a meet the candidate thing for like mayor and council members and stuff this weekend. And I learned a lot. Like, there's a lot of drama going on, like ridiculous drama that doesn't need to be, like petty. Like, one guy resigned his office because he didn't like somebody who worked for the city and claimed he was bullied. I'm sorry, dude. I'm looking at you and looking at your behavior and looking at how you look at me and how you treat me when I tried to say hi. Don't tell me you were bullied, because you weren't. You are the gruff, rough, rude dude. So, you just didn't get your way and you resigned, and now you want to run for that office again. But why should I elect you when you've already resigned once because you couldn't get along with somebody? So now you're hoping that this person gets fired, loses their job, doesn't get elected, and everything changes so you can have your way. And the body language was all off. So I'm really happy I went to meet the candidates, because I had one very specific question, and only one candidate even took a crack at it. Even tried, and I explained to the moderator, here's what my intent is with the question, so I don't know if it's clear. They clarified, and they said, I honestly don't even really know how to answer this, but this is the person's question. And everybody's like, you know what? I'd like to take a stab at this. I'd like to try and answer her question. Was it the best answer? No. But did it help me understand more? Yes. Yeah, it did. So it was basically without knowing exactly what's going on and without an exact specific situation, I couldn't answer it. But here are the two different options, and here is our thought process on how we would handle it. So that helped me to know. And then I also got to meet the candidates. Well, meet some of the candidates. I got to meet 4 of the 6 candidates. Have conversations with them and know what is valuable to them and how they plan on representing the community and what they plan on doing to make my community better. Now, the reason why this is important is that these people are going to represent me for the next 2 to 4 to 6 years. So they're going to make choices on what kinds of things go into my community. I really like to hike. I really find nature important. So I want to see those kinds of things improved. I really, I would love it if my community could create a job that I didn't have to drive 30 minutes to go to work. I would love it if my community could keep our property taxes where they are, or even possibly lower them. Lower them is probably not going to happen, but I don't want to see my property taxes go up because we're spending frivolously. I went to a town hall and a city council meeting tonight, and I found out that we went from a few short years ago, we were over $1 million in debt. Now we have millions in surplus. So I really like what the people are doing. So that's also going to affect my vote because I don't want to have my taxes go way up. I want to see the city grow in a positive way. I want to see diversity. I want to see nature. I want to see I don't want to see rows and rows of fast food. I just don't. I don't want to see prejudice against any particular group of people. I don't want to have a mayor who says they have an open door policy, but then can't even turn and say hello to me at a meet and greet and instead gives me the evil eye. That's not what I want. But the thing is, I went in open minded. I went in very open minded and looking forward to getting to know more about the candidates. And ironically enough, the people who I didn't think that I would choose are going to be the ones I choose because I learned more. I got involved. And I think that they are going to be the ones who do what is best for my community. So if you get involved and if you make your voice heard and known, you're more likely to get what you want out of your community. And well, that might not sound like frugality at its normal thought process. If you were getting more for your tax dollars without having to pay more in taxes, that's frugal. If they built, what I really would love to see them build is one of those parks with like the workout equipment. But I'm kind of like, a lot of the time, like that workout equipment gets like trashed quick and just doesn't work. But I would like to see some sort of like a workout option or maybe something along those lines and increase nature trails, stuff like that. So that, letting my voice be heard helps with that versus if other people are going and saying we want to knock down all the trees and we want to put up these huge buildings and we want, money, 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 and it's going to increase my property taxes and everything, that's not what I want. So today's tip for frugal living is to get involved in your community so that your community can benefit you and you can mesh well with your community and you can keep your property taxes going to things that you value in your community so that you're able to participate in free or low cost activities and that's what your tax dollars are paying for rather than frivolous items that are for a select set of people. Anyways, again, my name's Melissa. This year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. If you want to hear more, please hit like and subscribe. I'll see y'all tomorrow.